I want to thank LG for sponsoring this video.
Okay everyone, we have the QNED85 in the 86-inch version and the 75-inch version. We have both sizes because you know we like to do TVs big here. Of course, we want to show you the features, some content, and of course we're going to compare these two sizes because bigger is always better, right? So we'll compare the 86 to the 75 and even maybe a 65-inch just so you can see how they all look in this room.
And then of course, I'll give you some buying advice at the end to help determine the best fit for you.
So what is QNED Technology? Well, that's LG's next generation of QLED with the latest LCD technology for really immersive color expression. And this specific QNED85 has the Alpha 8 AI processor 4K. This processor is exclusively optimized for LG webOS with faster AI performance, improved graphics, and processing speeds. And when you get set up right off the bat, you have the opportunity to select the AI Picture Pro and the AI Sound Pro. And if you've had an LG TV before, the AI Picture Pro really sharpens the image and gives you a really nice clean look, and you get a little before and after when you're setting the TV up here. And the same thing with regards to the AI Sound Pro too. You get a little bit more immersive sound, and if the TV like this, 86-inch, already very visually immersive, having that added sound benefit is awesome. Now before we get into the content, I do want to talk about the webOS 24, which now is actually upgradable up to 4 times over the course of 5 years. So that can come in handy as a lot of technology changes over time. And there's a lot of stuff on the webOS 24. It may look a little overwhelming, but let's break it down because it's pretty straightforward and intuitive if you know what you're doing. First, obviously, you can see the row of apps, all kinds of apps. You guys can watch thousands of movies and shows. It's really awesome. And then above that, you have the new quick cards, which give you kind of a breakdown of the OS. So you have home office, where you can get access to some of your Google Docs and things like that for business, a game tab, which we're going to get into in a little bit, but it's pretty cool how it's broken down. And of course, you can have different profiles. So my profile may be different and the kids profile, you know, optimized for gaming versus me, sports and movies, things like that. So it's a pretty neat operating system. And one of the great features of the OS is the AI Picture Wizard, where you look at a bunch of different images on the screen, and after analyzing all the ones that you chose, it'll then give you your perfect picture profile. So then you have that one locked in if you want to go back to it, but you can also choose standard or vivid or filmmaker mode, which is great for preserving the creator's intent. So a bunch of different profiles, but I do like that it gives you that option to kind of make your own profile based on how things look to you. And if you want to more easily navigate the operating system, you can just press the mic button on the remote, which brings up the AI Concierge. Speaking into the mic, it was very easy for me to change from that personalized picture mode back to filmmaker mode without having to go into a bunch of menu settings. And the same can be said for the AI chatbot. If you go into the accessibility quick card, you can find ways to get around problems that you might have. So I just messed around and said, the sound isn't perfect. And it gave me an opportunity to go in and check the sound and make sure that everything was okay, and came back to me and said, there's nothing wrong with your sound. So a lot of great features on the operating system, very good AI features to kind of get you around, navigate, find all the easy ways to do things without having to go through a bunch of menus. And now that we figured out the webOS 24, let's use the AI Concierge to open up YouTube TV. And if you guys know my channel, you know that if I'm gonna have a big TV in the house, it's gonna be watching sports. I'm pretty impressed with how vibrant and bright the picture quality is. Very great QNED color here. And at the same time, it has fantastic contrast. This does have local dimming zones, so you get the combination of really great bright colors, great specular highlights, and at the same time, really good black levels. So pretty impressive. And again, this is an 86-inch TV, so it's absolutely massive. And even when sitting next to the 75-inch QNED85, it just looks so much bigger and so much more immersive. But I really like the way that this 86-inch version looks on my entertainment center, just so much bigger. And from the side profile, this TV looks really nice. It's clean, very thin, so whether you set it on the stand and looks very nice or you put it up on the wall, it would be like perfectly flat against the wall. So it's a great option in your living room or any room that you're watching sports in, really. Now, if we have a huge 86-inch TV in our living room, you know that we're also going to be watching movies. And this is a really great movie watching machine. Again, it's the size that catches your eye right off the bat, but it's pretty impressive to have such bright specular highlights on a great QNED TV like this and still have the fantastic contrast.
It just makes for a fantastic movie viewing experience. And when comparing it to the 75-inch, there's just no question that you get so much more immersion on the 86-inch version. So really big, really fun TV to watch movies on. And one thing I wanted to mention before we get to gaming is that there's great interaction with the LG soundbars. The LG Soundbar S70TY, for example, is designed to perfectly match the LG QNED series TVs. We actually connected it to this QNED85 and engaged the WOW Orchestra. And there's a huge difference between using these two together via the WOW Orchestra versus just the TV by itself, because the sound quality is even better. You get a lot better treble or high frequency sound from the soundbar itself, and then the subwoofer has so much more bass, so a really great experience. And if you need to change the volume or settings in the LG soundbar, you can actually use just the one magic remote for the TV, which is awesome, and it can take you into the WOW interface where you can make those changes like changing the sound modes or the profile, all kinds of handy features. So it's really great that we can control both devices with the one magic remote. So the last thing I wanted to talk about before we get to the buying advice is gaming. The QNED85 has 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, all capable of 4K at 120 frames per second, which is really awesome. And in addition, they also have FreeSync and VRR. So really great gaming features on an immersive 86-inch big screen QNED85. And if you want to go even further, you also have the game dashboard where you can visualize the FPS, whether or not VRR and game modes are on, what type of game you're playing, all those things are easily accessible. And if you need even more customization, you can go into the game optimizer where you have even more settings. And I talk about this in a lot of videos, but I can't overstate how awesome it is to have a TV of this size. 86-inch for gaming. So much fun, even when comparing it to a 75-inch TV. And again, this 75-inch TV is not tiny. It's pretty big for most people, but when you compare something like this 86-inch versus like a 55-inch TV, no comparison at all. So much more immersive and just a lot more fun to play games on this 86-inch QNED85. And if you don't have a gaming console, LG still has you covered with various cloud gaming services accessible from the game tab on the home screen of the webOS, where you can stream them immediately without having to waste time on downloads or any sort of updates. So that's a really cool gaming feature as well in 2024. And now for the all-important buying advice, which is pretty straightforward. I don't know how you could not consider an 86-inch QNED85 when buying a new TV. It's super bright, it has great contrast, really good dimming control. It looked great for sports, looks fantastic for movies, and sounds really good with the LG soundbar, and is really fun for gaming. So it checks all the boxes, to be honest. And this is an 86-inch model, so huge screen, and some of the competitors are 2 or 3 times the price. Even in the smaller size, a lot of them are much more expensive. But I'm definitely interested to hear your guys' feedback. What do you guys think of the QNED85? Let me know in the comments, and of course, if you're interested in checking out any of the sizes, check the links below in the description, especially the 86-inch because it's really awesome. And on your way out, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys on the next video.